Summer 2024 is about feeling our best and feeling confident. I was scrolling through Pinterest the other night and started seeing all things related to summer pop up, and I realized that summer is really only 4 months away. I decided to start a little series on my channel where I do whatever it takes to glow up, internally and externally for summer, so that I can feel like my highest self. So let's dive into my summer 2024 glow up plan. Summer is right around the corner, and I could not be more excited for this video because I've been wanting to film this for so many years. I love summer. I have been seeing everywhere all things summer, whether it's on Pinterest, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. I've just been seeing so many cute reels and videos and pictures about summer, and it's getting me in such a high vibe mood, and I already made a summer playlist and I'm so excited. So I thought that now would be a perfect time to actually film my summer 2024 glow up plan. Now I do want to say right now that I'm not certified in anything that I'm talking about. This is just my personal plan, and just keep in mind that what works for me might not work for you, but I thought it would be a little fun to tell you guys what my plan is for summer, given that we're like 3 to 4 months away from summer, to glow up and be my best self before summer actually comes. So with all that being said, let's get into the video. I have my little notebook down here, and I broke this video up into 5 parts, and that is body, food, style, self-care, and all things spiritual. So first things first, we're gonna start with body. For me personally, I want to be able to go to the gym 6 times a week. If you know me, you know I love the gym. I love going to Orange Theory, but recently I've been lifting more, and I actually am starting to really enjoy lifting. I still want to go to Orange Theory 6 times a week, but I want to incorporate more lifting into my actual workout routines because my goals right now are to tone, and I know that I definitely need to be lifting more weights in order to even get close to the goals that I want to be at. So I definitely want to be able to go to the gym 6 times a week and need to lift more. I've been recently lifting with my boyfriend Chad, and he is very, very good at lifting, and he kind of helps me, and he likes to make sure that my form is correct and everything, so I really appreciate that. But going to the gym and just incorporating more lifting while still incorporating cardio is something that is definitely up there. The next thing, I have 15 to 30 minutes of direct sunlight per day. Now, whenever I get natural light, I am just in such a happier mood. I love going outside. I love going on walks, and especially when the sun is out, it just makes me so happy. So I feel like incorporating certain things into my daily plan, like going outside and making dedicated time in order to get that natural light, is something that is definitely going to help me. Next, I have take 10,000 steps a day. I love walking. I say this in a lot of my videos, whether it's self-care or a to-do list video, whatever it may be, I love going on little hot girl walks. I think that getting my steps in and kind of just allowing myself to have that time to be kind of present in where I am while I'm walking and just listening to music or playlist really does help me. And I love taking 10,000 steps a day because it really did help me when I was going through my weight loss journey, and ever since then I just kind of stuck to that goal of trying to meet 10,000 steps a day, and I will tell you, I have seen a big difference since starting that. The next thing for body is be in nature as much as possible. As you guys know, I'm someone who loves doing things. I love going on adventures, I love going on hikes, I love just seeing new things within the world, and being in nature just makes me happy, whether I'm in a tulip farm or somewhere where it's snowing, or the beach, looking at a sunset, looking at a sunrise. It just kind of speaks to my inner soul, and I really, really love it. So I just think that doing things that will make my body feel good and also make my body happy inside and out is something that is going to help me glow up throughout these next few months. The next thing, and the last thing I have for body, is walk outside as much as possible. This all kind of correlates to being in nature and taking those 10,000 steps a day and being very active, but doing it outside as much as possible. So I'm able to get that natural light and fresh air and just kind of connect with nature. I think that that would really, really help. We are moving on to the food category. If you guys watched my 2024 glow up plan in December of 2023, you would know that one of my New Year's resolutions was to cook more at home. That kind of started to be a thing, but then I stopped doing it, and then I started again, and it's kind of just inconsistent. And if I'm being honest, I really want to be able to make more home cooked meals, more than I even am now. I'm proud of myself for even sticking to it a little, because cooking is something that is hard for me just because I feel like I don't have the time to do it. But I'm gonna stop making excuses, and I'm going to try to cook at least 4 to 5 times per week at my house, and kind of just be aware of what's going in my food and connecting with the food that I actually really do enjoy. So the first thing I have on my list is to make more home cooked meals. Honestly, once I start making things that I do like, I do have fun while I'm in the moment doing it. It's kind of just the process of getting myself to start cooking, if that makes sense. So I want to stop making that an excuse and actually start to cook. And the good thing about this is I actually realized that that I can watch TV while doing this. I can catch up on The Bachelor. I can listen to a podcast. I can listen to music. I can watch a YouTube video. And that is something that also helped me too, because even though I love cooking, sometimes I get anxious about what I'm cooking because I'm like, oh no, what if it doesn't taste good? And kind of like distracting my mind and being in the moment and not overthinking really does help. So that is what I'm going to tell myself when I do get like that. The next thing I have is I want to incorporate more leafy greens and natural sugars into my diet. So more fruits, more salads, more vegetables, and kind of just like that natural sugar rather than a sugary drink that isn't doing anything particularly good for my body. Whenever I do this, I feel 100% better. It's crazy, and I feel it kind of like instantly. So I want to incorporate this at least for a few months just to kind of allow my body to reset and recharge for the summer. The next thing I have, which is also kind of related to what my diet's going to look like, is I want to have more protein. This kind of correlates to my goals with my body, but as I said before, I want to be able to tone more, and I know that when you're lifting and when you have goals and when you're trying to tone, again, I'm not certified in what I'm saying, but this is what I know from experience. Eating more protein is really, really key, especially for myself because I'm not a big protein eater, and that is not good. I know that there's protein in so many things, but I'm just a very picky eater, and I'm really trying to not be anymore. So I am making it a goal for myself to eat a certain amount of protein a day and then a certain amount of natural sugars and leafy greens a day as well. And the last thing for food, which it's not really food, but I just put it under that category because it's still a drink, is drinking water. I have a really hard time when it comes to drinking a lot of water. I love water, but I really only crave it when I'm thirsty, if that makes sense. Like I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I need water. But throughout the day, I like to drink Gatorade Zero and Coke Zero, and I know that those things are not necessarily great for you. So I want to try and just kind of replace those things with water. And I'm not saying I'll never have Gatorade Zero. I'm not saying I'll never have Coke Zero. I'm just saying I want to have more water than the Gatorade that I'm consuming, if that makes sense, because I know that water is very hydrating and it will really, really help me. I do have lemon water mostly every morning, but other than that, that's just one glass, and I definitely need to be drinking more water throughout the day. I'm so sorry if the angle changed. My camera ran out of battery as per usual. But another thing that I actually just thought of that I wanted to add to this little food list is taking my daily vitamins. I'm pretty good at taking my vitamins, but if I'm being honest, sometimes I'll go weeks without taking them, and then other times I'll go months with being very consistent with it. So I wanted to add that so I just remember to include it in my routine all the time. And the last thing I wanted to add was eating breakfast. I am not the best at eating breakfast. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I do, and whenever I do, I truthfully do feel so much better. I know that breakfast is one of the most important meals of the day, and I never really believed that when I used to hear it, but after feeling the difference, I 100% support that idea, and I just think it's so important to have breakfast. And like I said, in some of my routines and some of my vlogs, you will probably see that I did eat breakfast. Sometimes I do, and when I do, I feel my best. So I just want to do that all the time because there is definitely days and months and weeks where I don't, and I'll be skipping meals, and that's what I don't want to do. So that's what I mean when I say have some more healthy breakfast. We're moving on to the next category, which is style. I've been looking everywhere to try to figure out what the summer 2024 style is going to be, and I honestly still don't know. So if you know, please let me know, comment down below, because I want to be ahead of the game and I want to kind of start shopping. I want to do a little spring closet clean out, and then I also want to do a new little haul of going to the stores and picking out a summer style. But before I go into style, I also wanted to say that I'm going to make this into a series on my channel, and what that means is I'm telling you guys this plan now, but then I'm actually going to do it in real time with you guys. So definitely stay tuned, and remember to subscribe if you want to see that, because I'm really excited and I have some really cool, unique ideas, I think. So stay tuned because we are going to do this in real time as well. But going on to style, the first thing I have, which goes along with what I just said, is to do a closet clean out. I've been talking about this on my channel for a while. My closet looks insane. I have a lot of my clothes from college still, and it's a lot of going out clothes, and if I'm being honest, I don't really go out anymore. And when I say that, don't get me wrong, I still do go out. It's just not as often as I was going out in college. I'll go out maybe like 5 times within 6 months rather than every single night. So I just don't think I need that many crop tops within my wardrobe anymore because I don't wear them, and I want to be able to donate them and give them away. So I really just want to go through my closet and only keep the things that I truthfully really do wear and will wear throughout the summer and the spring and the winter and the fall when those seasons come around. So that's the first thing on my style list. And the next thing that goes along with with what I was saying is create a wardrobe that you love and that you feel confident in. I know that this can sound a little confusing because I just asked you guys what the trend is for summer 2024 wardrobe, but when I say that, I mean, what is the general idea? Like, what is trending? What fashion is going to be in? And then I'm going to use that as inspiration and kind of go off of that, but still only get the things that I am going to feel my best in. I feel like trends could be very inspiring sometimes, but at the same time, they could also make you feel like you have to do a certain thing. And I just want to say that that's not true at all. It is so important for you to feel your best, and you have to do things that are going to make you feel your best. And that's kind of the goal of this plan, is to find things that are going to make me feel confident and me feel great in what I'm wearing and what I'm doing. So that is the next plan for my style. And the last thing on my style plan is to incorporate the sandwich method more. If you don't know what that is, it's basically when, for example, you're wearing a white shirt, blue jeans, and then a white pair of sneakers. Basically, the top and the bottom part of your outfit is matching, and there's some colors maybe in your pants, or depending on how you do it, that are different, but the top and the bottom part, or maybe your purse or your shoe, could be incorporated in the sandwich method. I will put a little picture on the screen of what I'm talking about, but this truthfully looks so cute, and I want to incorporate it more because I feel like it's such a simple yet good idea, and I do feel like it will help me out with trying to match my clothes and aesthetics a lot more. We are moving on to the next category, which is self-care. If you know me, you know I love self-care. I love having good self-care nights, and I actually just posted a video, which I will link down below for you guys, that is all about self-care, but it's about the mind, the body, and the soul parts of self-care, and I feel like that is a very necessary thing to incorporate in our routines, at least for myself. I go more into detail in that video about what those three things mean. So if you're wondering, you could just go watch that video because I don't want my videos to be repetitive, but I think that self-care is so important, and I truthfully really do love it. So the first thing I have is to have a good and simple skincare routine. For me, what I've realized is when I have a simple skincare routine, my skin reacts the best. When I have a 10-step skincare routine, my skin doesn't like it. Now, if your skin does, that's great. I wish I can put so many products on my face, but for some reason, I just have really sensitive skin, and my skin does not like new products that it's not used to. So usually I do stick to these same products for my skincare routine. I do try out some new ones very occasionally, and then if they work, great, and if they don't, then that's fine. Then I tried it and I know they don't work for me, but I do want to have a kind of steady skincare routine that is very simple and that will work for my skin. The next thing I have is to try more heatless hairstyles. Now, I love doing the heatless curls, but for some reason my hair will never and did never hold a curl, whether it was heatless or whether I did it with heat in the moment. I don't know why. It only holds a curl when I go to the hairdresser and they do it, and even then it falls out very fast. I do have a hair appointment coming up, and I'm thinking about cutting my hair and getting a lot of layers because I do know that my hair is very thick, so it could be that my hair just can't hold a curl, and maybe adding more layers into it will be better. But I do want to incorporate more heatless hairstyles into my routine because I do not want to put as much heat on my hair as I have been. And if you have watched any of my other videos about my PCOS journey, you guys know that my hair did start falling out very rapidly for a period of time, and where I am okay now and I did get it to stop, it was still a very emotional thing to go through, and every time I do put heat on my hair, I do get a little scared. So I just think that the best thing to do is find more heatless hairstyles. The next thing I have is have a good morning routine. I talk about this all the time, but having a good structured morning routine is really good for my soul. I feel happy and productive the second I wake up because I immediately start my morning routine, which is so important. And going along with that, I also have a good structured night routine. I like to do things in a certain order, and I like to get things done by a certain time, and when I do, I truthfully do feel myself inside and outside. So I just think that sticking to those routines all the time is something that will really help me strive. And the last thing, which is so important, I cannot stress this enough, is to do something you love. This is a form of self-care. Doing something you love is so important because I feel like a lot of the time we can get stuck up in a routine and not incorporate the things that we love and our hobbies, and this is kind of what my self-care video was about, but I need to start incorporating more things that I love into my day-to-day routine. I do this pretty often, but I think I just need to incorporate it more than I already do because I know that when I do this, I feel so much better. Whether it's baking, journaling, watching a TV show, making a YouTube video, watching the sunrise, going to Target, going shopping, spending time with my boyfriend, spending time with my friends. I love doing the things that I love, and when I do incorporate this into my routine, I feel so much better. So that is definitely a form of self-care that I feel like is so important that I am going to start implementing more and more into my routines. And now moving on to the last thing is all things spiritual. The first thing I have on my list is journaling. I love journaling. I do this very often, but I just still wanted to include it in here because when I do journal, I do feel 100% like myself. And I feel like it's a really good way to kind of like escape and write down all your mind's thoughts that you don't necessarily want to say out loud, or even if you do say them out loud, that you also have them written down so you can look back on them and see the progress or what you were thinking on a certain day and stuff like that. I also really like doing gratitude and affirmations as well within my journaling process. The next thing I have is doing things to better my mind. Now, I don't necessarily know exactly what this would look like. I'm still trying to plan it out, but journaling could go into this, reading could go into this, learning something new can go into this, just allowing myself to be open to learning new things and teaching myself some things about things maybe I didn't really know much about. The next thing I have is meditation. I am not the biggest fan of meditation. I do it sometimes. I just don't necessarily love it. I'm still learning to love it, but it does make me feel relaxed and I do like the after effect of it. So that is why that little category is on here as well. Next, I have yoga. I am not the biggest fan of yoga, but again, I like what it does for my body and I like how I feel after. So I'm trying to kind of just connect with my inner self and learn to love certain things, if that makes sense. The last thing I have is affirmations, manifestations, and crystals. I love crystals. I've talked about this in many of my videos, but going to little crystal shops is just something that is so fun for me and I love it. I like journaling and manifesting and scripting with crystals and candles out. I just really like it and I really do feel like I'm connected to my inner self when I am doing it. And there's certain ways to manifest, there's certain ways to script, and there's also multiple ways to do both of these, but I can make a whole other video about that because I could talk for hours about it. But that is everything in my summer 2024 glow up plan. I am really excited and I hope you guys are as well. If you stayed up until this point of the video, let me know if you're doing a summer 2024 glow up plan and let me know if you think I should add anything to this or if you think it's good. Also, comment a little flower emoji if you stayed up until this point of the video because I want to see who watched all the way through, and I will try my best to reply to all the comments. Thank you again for watching and I'll see you guys really soon in my next video. Bye.